Hello, this is Erin Hinton with my ECCE 2202 Social Issues and Family Involvement video. The assignment for this week was to go over and read our articles and videos from the week and pick a topic that relates to transitioning into kindergarten from pre-K. So the topic that I would like to talk about, it's going to be kind of twofold. Because I believe both of them go hand in hand. The first part that I think that is important for children that are transferring out of the pre-K class into kindergarten would be the summer transition. So for my families, I would put together an individualized packet for each child, and it would be tailored to encourage any areas of concern and to heighten and shine upon their successes that they've had. So send those packets home. It will have activities, book recommendations, things the family can do together, and I would also make sure that the family knows, now this is a personal choice. When I taught pre-K, I always made sure that my parents knew I was available via email throughout the summer in case they had any questions or concerns about transitioning, because I know as scary as it can be for the little ones, it is that tenfold for the parents. Lots of questions, especially if this is the first time they've had a child leaving the pre-K daycare situation into the kindergarten and traditional schooling. So along with those packets, and just making sure that the parents know you're fully there for the summer. I think that it's a little unfair to put the bulk of the weight on that transitioning success onto the parents. So that's why this is a twofold topic. I would also then put the bulk of that preparation on to myself during the classroom. So after holiday breaks, when the kids come back in January, that is when I would start the focus and start doing things to ease that transition, such as extending their small group and large group times by 5 minutes, and then after about 8 weeks of doing that, and extend it to 10. That will help them to start getting used to having to sit and focus for a little bit longer periods of time than what they're normally used to. I would also scale back a little bit on the resting or nap time, not having it go any longer than roughly 60 minutes, and encourage moving away from those nap times. So offering some soft, quiet things for children to do during that time. I would pick a book a day during that time. There are 66 books on that list, I believe, that we were given. And when I looked at the Cherokee County school calendar, between coming back from holiday break until the last day before summer, there's 89 days of school. So that means we could pick a book a day and be well on our way to having those kindergarten readiness books read, and roughly about 20 extra slots to reread some favorites or introduce some other books that weren't on that list. I think it's also important to work on the self-sufficiency. So each child practicing tying their shoes, opening their items at lunch. I can't tell you how many times I have to open string cheese or yogurts or put the straw through the Capri Sun, just trying to get them to where they can use those fine motor skills to pull, rip, and tear some of those packages. And along with like the tying of the shoes and zipping and unzipping jackets, getting themselves dressed and redressed for recess, things like that. It's very important, and I know it sounds simplistic, but when they are introduced into a kindergarten classroom, the teachers tend to not have as much time to sit and reteach and assist in things of that nature. There's more focused time slots throughout the day. Oftentimes, especially now with all the changes that are happening in the education department, maybe they won't even have assistants in that classroom to help with that type of stuff. So getting your pre-K kids as self-sufficient as possible before they bridge over the summer is imperative. Let me see, what else did I want to cover? Walking in line. So transitioning from pre-K to kindergarten is huge. Another transition is any transition throughout the day. So when they become integrated into kindergarten, they will now be with a large body. Most schools are kindergarten through 5th or 6th grade. So if you think about the number of classrooms times the bodies in there, there's a lot of walking going throughout the day. Lots of specialty classes, so they'll be going to the library, they'll be going to PE, music. So they'll be spending a lot of time in those hallways. So teaching them before they leave you, reinforcing quiet bubbles, keeping your hands to yourself in line, giving enough space, moving quietly so that you don't disrupt the other classes in session. Kindergarten teachers will be forever grateful. Also, we want to talk about writing their name. That is another big one. An easy and kind of fun way that I used to incorporate that is towards the end of the year, I would introduce a sign-up sheet. And each child, when they would come into the room in the morning, they would get a dry erase marker, which they loved, and they would write their name to sign in for the day. So that is a fun way for them to practice their name. And for your accelerated students, you can have them do first and last name. I always tried to get them to at least do first name and last name initial. One of the things that I did for myself, this is just another personal thing, I think it's a great idea to do like a kindergarten readiness coupon program. So anytime I would see a student either meeting or exceeding some of these benchmarks for kindergarten readiness, they would earn a coupon, and we would keep those. They'd have their own little kind of like bank book, and by the end of that year, they would gather all of their kindergarten readiness coupons, and they could use it to buy things out of the care closet, whether that's backpacks or books, cute pencils with fancy erasers, all kinds of things like that, jewelry, anything like that. And that gives them, for that last like 4 to 5 months of school, they're working towards getting those skills sufficiently met. It'll ease your mind as a pre-K teacher. You know you're sending your children with the skills that they're going to need to be successful in kindergarten. And it's nice for them to leave off on the end of the year with the gifts that they have earned throughout that last half of the year. And last note, I think it's important to remember throughout for that last, like I said, January through the end of May, in your weekly newsletter to put a kindergarten readiness corner, so just a little box where you might have a special activity in there, something like vocabulary words, a book of the week, and any kind of information that might help the parents to prepare for that transition. And that will be you giving your kids the step up, and kindergarten teachers again will be grateful for all your hard work. And by dividing it up over that last half of the year, it's less stressful for you as well, and you know that you have given your kids all the tools for success. Thank you.